What's up, everybody? Welcome to DCUO from their DCO commentary. I'm bringing you this commentary here today. First of all, I want to preamble this. This is a fun match. We decided last night after we got done doing all of our main raids, Dawn, Vengeance, and Gates. We decided, all right, let's split off into different groups and let's do some Legends League versus League. We started off in fours. We got cheesed in fours. My group did, at least, in my opinion. We got cheesed in fours, because the other team went 3 Bane on us. But that's no big deal. We ended up getting a couple more people on here. We said let's do some TDM on the moon in Legends. So that's what we did. Here, going up against everybody in my league. Good matches the whole night. Flat out admit, we got beat. My team got beat more than we won, but some of that I contribute to cheese. Other bits, I contribute to other matches. I contribute actual good smart gameplay on those guys' parts. But anyways, what I really want to talk about was kind of like a continuation of our conversation my last video, my 1% video and everything. It got brought up. Somebody was talking. Wanted to know, brought up something about supercharges, and what supercharges to run in arenas and everything like that. And I've got an opinion. It's not a shared opinion by any means, by anybody in the PvP community, as far as I know. In regards to the supercharges that basically you have to run if you're running competitive fives. I mean, if you're doing competitive fives, you basically have to run support supercharges, no matter what your role is. I mean, healers, it makes sense for to run your transcendence, your invigorates, your regens. I mean, that makes sense. Trollers, it makes sense to run your speed drains, or your word of powers, if you're not super speed. But I mean, that right there is kind of my point about all this. Because this is my opinion. Speed drain does not belong in super speed movement mode. It doesn't. That should be a supercharged type power that belongs only to the controllers. That should be something that only controllers have. Only mental, gadgets, and hard light should have a power that gives power back out to the group. So that's just how I feel. I think speed drain should be completely taken out of the super speed movement altogether. If not that, then flight and acrobatics need to be given something that does the exact same thing. But I'm more of the opinion, I mean, it's like, I'm tanking or I'm DPSing in arenas. I rarely DPS in arenas because it's practically suicide to DPS as a fire, ice, or earth in arenas because of the RPS system, and we still get debuffed by healers and everything. So it's not really fire, ice, and earth DPS are not some of the first DPS that people look for in competitive fives match. Or for a group. So, basically, I'm going to pop a cough drop here. Basically, I don't think speed drain belongs in a movement mode at all. I know I just said that, but I just want to repeat it. It does not belong in a movement mode. Something that gives power back out to the group is something that's a controller power. All right, only controllers should be doing that. Alright, not healers, not DPS, and not tanks. I mean, yeah, we got word of power, but it doesn't work the same as speed drain. There's a long animation for it. It's just you have to. It takes a lot more timing, and work to get it right. Other thing too, invigorate, transcendence, and regen. I don't think those powers should be giving power out to the group. Now, am I sitting here saying that, tanks should be running with, a supercharge like, reignition? No, absolutely not. Your job as a tank in PvP is to kill the trollers, remove the POT, remove their shields and everything. and give debuffs out, debuff immunities out to your group. That's your job as a tank. But the thing is, because of this whole, you have to run a support supercharge and all that. You're basically you're kind of gimping the tanks in PvP with that. I'd love to be able to run Fireball Barrage and just smack the crap out of a controller with that. But I can't because I have to run this doggone support supercharge, and I'm not really happy about that. Now, yeah, of course, the option there is for me to just say, screw my team. I'm not going to do it, and I'm going to do what I want to do and run a Fireball Barrage. But I'm not that kind of person. I'm going to, play to, help the team out. And man, Deem was all over me with his block breakers in this match. So, I mean, that's my opinion on that. I'm curious what you guys think of that as well. I mean, I know a lot of people. And that was the main reason why people switched to super speed to begin with. One, not just because it's easier to kite with in PvP, but two, because of the speed drain. I think it's kind of ridiculous that once again this goes back to balancing the movement modes out. I think if unless the developers wanted everybody to be super speed in this game, they would look at doing something like that. Because I mean, even people who don't PvP a lot have switched to super speed just so they could have access to that speed drain. I know a lot of the controllers especially have done that. So I mean, yeah, that's how I feel about it. I think it's kind of ridiculous that as a tank I have to worry about being able to give power back out to my group. Now, what kind of effect would this have on arenas? Well, you wouldn't be seeing 15-minute long matches that ended in a tie anymore. I guarantee you that. You wouldn't see 15-minute matches that ended in only like 4 or 5 kills between two different teams. You wouldn't see that anymore. It'd be a lot more people. I honestly think it'd be a lot more concentrated. I think it would be more interesting. I think it would be. You'd really be able to test people's skill out in their roles. Healing, DPSing, tanking, controlling. You'd be really be able to test their these people out in their roles if they're able to. Ooh, lockbox. If you're able to, you don't have this, almost constant pool of power going out to the group. Supplemented, that's supplementing the controller's power out. I really think it'd make matches quicker. We'd be able to, do matches, more matches, more often, and I think that it'd make them a lot more fun, and definitely, it would test people's skill out in arenas. I mean, because before, everybody, figured out this whole super speed with speed drain thing and all that, there were not that many super speeders out there. The ones that did, the only super speeder, like in Meta Justice heyday, when we had our best fives group, we only had one guy that was super speed, and he was our controller and he ran speed drain. But he started out with super speed on that tune, and I know there's a lot of other people too who have started out with super speed on their tunes, and didn't do it just for the speed drain. I know that. But that being said, you don't see many people, saying, "Oh, I want to roll up a new alt because I want to try mental controlling in PvP." You don't see them, rolling up that alt as an acrobatics or a flight. You're going to see them rolling it up as a super speeder, as super speed, because they want to have access to that speed drain. That is my point. I think some of the powers that mental, gadgets, and hard light have should be changed out and given super speed instead of, given speed drain instead of some of the powers like anesthetic. I honestly think that should be power that's like speed drain. I'll, and it's a power that gives a heal out to the gadgets. I mean, seriously. I mean, I don't know. I understand them wanting to, give some kind of aspects of, people being able to get a little health back when they're going solo, but that's what their sodas are for, man. Not a supercharge. You don't. People don't build up their supercharges so they can get health back. When they're leveling up their tunes in this game. I mean, they do them. They run with damage supercharges. I mean, I did for the longest time. When I was leveling up, I did. So I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me why a movement mode would have a power like speed drain. And it does, and honestly, if they take away the whole power out thing, they have to completely revamp Word of Power, I'm fine with that too. Or if they want to keep Word of Power, I'm fine with that too. I mean, that at least then it would even the playing field out for everybody who's, not just super speed, but, who are flight and acrobatics too. Like I said, it all goes back to balancing the movement modes out. I mean, yeah, flight can fly. Big whoop. Acrobatics can fly higher. Can fly faster in rocket assist mode, straight up, than a flight tune can in supersonic flight. That doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Does it make any sense to you guys at all that happens? I mean, you think Superman can't, chase Batman down if he's got a jetpack on? Come on. So, I mean, there's that, on top of, obviously, the biggest issue with flight, being able to kite in arenas and PvP and, having that escape ability that acrobatics and super speed have. I mean, that's mainly what I'm looking at there for that. But like I said, it all goes back to balancing out the movement modes. And, I don't think just balancing the movement modes is going to fix a lot of the issues with PvP. I really don't. But, I mean, it'd be a good start. And like I said, too, I mean, it would make matches a lot more fun. I mean, you'd see a lot more damage being put out by everybody, especially the DPS. You'd be seeing quicker matches. I wouldn't be able to go on long spiels talking about stuff like this on my videos. With our 15-minute long matches and all that in regular arenas, when we're going pre-made versus pre-made, you wouldn't see that. For the record, real quick too, I want to guys point this out. All right, no, I did not switch to Earth on my main that I'm playing on alt right now because I don't need Marks of Legend or Legend, anything higher than 2v2s, back caves on my main. So I switched to an alt for this. So I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I'm curious what you guys think too about this whole supercharge situation and all that, and running support supercharges in PvP. I mean, you basically have to these days for competitive fives. Everybody has to run a support supercharge, and I think it's kind of ridiculous, especially for the DPS. For the DPS and the tanks, mainly because our job in arenas are to kill. I mean, that's your main job as a DPS and a tank in arenas. Is to go out there and kill. I mean, obviously the tank's main job is to kill the trollers, but you're basically a secondary DPS in arenas for your group. And that's another thing too. I mean, that's part of the reason why a lot of people aren't running with tanks anymore these days. Not just because of the immunities and all that, but you're losing out on DPS when you got that. I mean, yeah, sure, you're losing out on the immunities when you don't have a tank in there. But guess what? Immunities on tanks got nerfed anyway, so there's kind of like no point for it at all. It's very frustrating. I wish the devs would take a look at it. I actually brought this up with at least balancing the movement modes out with Jens Anderson when he was on the Source podcast, and he kind of trolled me a little bit, and I wasn't really happy about that, a little bit at all. But I mean, I just I let it slide. So next time I probably won't be so nice about it. But You know, I mean, I've got a lot more ammo behind me now, as in regards to, you know, actual pointing out stuff like, you know, second point into super speed gets you double jump, second point into acro gets you grapple line, second point into flight gets you dive bomb, and it's useless in any aspect other than to troll people at Star Labs. Anyways, I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do so by giving it a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Until next time, you guys all take care. Bye.